Well, they did it, guys. They did it. The Packers actually lost to the Washington Commanders, one of the worst football teams in football. As a result of this loss, I think it's very fair to say the Packers are among the worst teams in football right now. They are I would say, a bottom 5 football team right now. They cannot do anything right, and it's not for a lack of talent, it's for a lack of execution. This team has no idea how to execute the plays that they call, and Matt LaFleur is like back over there just, he doesn't know what he's doing. I don't think he actually knows what he's doing, because he always says one thing and then the other thing happens during the game. In the press conferences this week, he was saying things like, yeah, we need to get Aaron Jones the ball more. Aaron Rodgers was saying things like, yeah, we need to simplify things. Things were not simplified. And Aaron Jones did not get many more touches than he's been getting all game, or all season long so far. 16 touches today. Last week it was 12. Last week it was unacceptable that he got 12. This week he got 16. And I'm supposed to act like that's some significant, improvement or something? Of course it's not. He's the best player on your offense, and they don't use him. They don't use the best player on their offense. They don't do it. Even though they say every single week that they're going to, they don't. They don't. It's like it's insanity. It's like that old phrase, if you keep doing the same thing over and over again, you're insane or something. That's what they're doing. They keep saying that they're going to give him more touches, but they don't really actually make him a significant contributor in the game plan. It's like I'm going crazy with this team. And it's not, look, I want to say one thing. It's not entirely the fault of Aaron Rodgers that some of these receivers aren't that great or that they can't catch the ball well. But he has looked like complete and utter shit the entire season. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing to watch him try and throw the football sometimes. I mean, he made exactly one good throw this game. There was a play, it was a third down, I think it was in the third quarter. He threw it to Dobbs. It was a really low throw, horrendous throw actually. It was a clean pocket, Dobbs was wide open, threw it almost into the dirt, and Dobbs couldn't make the catch. It was a catch that he maybe should have made, but a really way more difficult catch than it should have been. He had to make a really difficult adjustment on that ball. And then they cut to Aaron Rodgers. And I used to hate this, by the way. I used to hate when they do this, cutting to Rodgers to show his reaction. But his reaction was, what the fuck are we doing? You could read his lips. He said that. I don't know, man. What the fuck are you doing? You can't throw a 5-yard pass accurately. What are you doing? When are you going to take some accountability for this? He always acts like, oh, I've got to play maybe a little bit better, I've got to up my game a bit. No, you have to up your game significantly. You have to up your game tenfold from where you are right now, because Aaron Rodgers right now, I'm not going to lie, is one of the bottom 10 quarterbacks in the league. He looks like ass. He looks like complete ass. And it's getting so much on my nerves when they just cut to him and he's got this dumbass expression on his face like it's, oh my God, these rookies, man, these guys, oh my goodness. Take some accountability. I want him to go up there on the presser today and say, yeah, I've been playing like shit and I need to get my act together or else this team isn't going to be able to turn things around. That's exactly what he should say. But you know what he's going to say? He's going to say some shit like, we didn't execute right, there were some drops, I definitely didn't play as well as I wanted to. He's going to say some bullshit like that, some passive-aggressive shit like that. And he is so good at the art of being passive-aggressive towards reporters. He's so good at it. He's so good at just, implying things. And then, so that if they ever question him on it, he'd be like, oh, that's not what I really meant. But in actuality, it is actually what he meant. He's becoming so much of a pretentious asshole that I'm getting so sick of it. I cannot stand this guy at this point. I mean, honestly, if we're going to be losing to the Commanders, one of the worst teams in football, one of the worst rosters in football, starting a second-string quarterback, Taylor Heineke, who looked like absolute dog shit in the first half, if we're going to be playing like this against the Commanders, just call it a season, put in Jordan Love for the rest of the year, put Rodgers on IR with his sore thumb or whatever the fuck is causing him these problems, and just see what you got with Love, with Dobbs, with Watson, with some of the younger guys, and just call it a wash, because this team isn't going to win the Super Bowl. They're not going to win the Super Bowl. I mean, unless some drastic, significant, unforeseen change comes about, they're not going to win the Super Bowl. They're not going to compete for the Super Bowl. They might not even make the playoffs at this rate. And to the people who are going to say things like, oh, we just need another wide receiver. You know, this wide receiver room is so thin. It is thin, you're right. But bringing in a guy like DJ Moore, Chase Claypool isn't going to change anything about this team. I mean, maybe we have more of a deep threat on the roster, sure, but we already have deep threats too. Romeo Doubs is a deep threat. So what? Rodgers can't hit anybody to begin with, so what's it going to matter? Oh, we got DJ Moore. Whoop-de-doo. We're going to get Aaron Rodgers overthrowing him by 20 yards in the fourth quarter in a vain comeback attempt and lose to the whoever the fuck we're playing, the 1-5 Lions or some shit. I don't know. I'm just so sick of it. I'm so sick of it. I mean, I want somebody on this damn team to take accountability for once. Like, it's so clear that they're just not doing... They're not running the plays right. They're not calling the right plays. There was a play, it was the 4th down and 1. I think it was in the fourth quarter, actually. It was pretty much, for all intents and purposes, the game at that point. You know, the Packers were down 6 points. It's 4th and 1. They're in Washington territory. They lined up in shotgun, and they threw it to Romeo Doubs, a rookie, instead of handing it off for the half a yard they needed for the first down to A.J. Dillon. And also one thing that's been bugging me, why do we keep winding up in the shotgun every single play? Why are we not running under center? I mean, especially in a situation like that, under center gives you way more options in a 4th and a half yard to go situation. You can do so much with that. But out of shotgun, you can either hand it off or you can throw it quick. That's the only two things you can do. You can't really take a shot play on that. It just doesn't work. It's like this team is like constantly trying to find solutions, and then they just always come away with the wrong solution. And once again, they keep saying shit to us about how, I'm Rodgers, I need to play a tick better. Or LaFleur saying, oh yeah, we definitely need to get Aaron Jones more involved. And neither of them happen. Every single week, neither of those options happen. Neither of them do. And also, to say about the defense, you know, honestly, I don't think the defense was that horrible today. I mean, they're certainly not playing up to the standard that you'd expect a preseason top 5 defense to come in and play at. But it's getting really hard to keep putting any blame on the defense when the offense is having 3 and out after 3 and out, unsustained drive after unsustained drive, and the defense just keeps getting put back out there and being said, yay, get another stop. They've been getting a lot of stops between the last 2 games, Washington and the Jets. They've stopped the Washington football team and the Jets a lot in those 2 games. But towards the end of the game, you could tell they were gassed. You could tell that they were getting tired. And yeah, sometimes that might not be an excuse for a unit that's supposedly as good as them. But still, the offense has not helped them out one iota all year long. They have not helped this defense out at all. And it's getting really, really frustrating because you can tell the defense, these guys are gassed. They're tired. I mean, they've been on the field for the majority of the game. I think Washington doubled up our time of possession today. You're on the field for, 35 minutes of a 60-minute football game. You're going to be tired as hell. And that's exactly what they were. And it's just getting to the point where it's like the primary driver behind the Packers' issue is their complete ineptitude on offense. And that starts with things like not getting Aaron Jones the ball enough, things like Aaron Rodgers sucking shit. And it's like they keep searching for like this magical solution, but I almost kind of agree with Rodgers at this point. Simplicity is the answer here for offense. It is running simple plays. It is doing the simple things, getting Aaron Jones the ball. They ran a play today that I really, really liked. They ran it multiple times, too. It was a little pitch to Jones out of the shotgun. They gave him the ball with a little bit of space. They pulled the offensive line to the right side, which is the direction they usually ran the play. And Aaron Jones typically got about 7 to 8 yards on that play. But they only ran it like maybe, I want to say 5 times all game. Run it some more. Run it until they stop it. But no, they just have to get too creative, too complicated, outthink themselves. That 4th and short was a classic example of Matt LaFleur outthinking himself. Oh, it's a 4th and short. They won't expect a quick pass coming. I mean, first of all, they might have, but second of all, just do the obvious thing and give the ball to A.J. Dillon, who's a freaking tank. He's going to get your half yard and the drive continues. But no, let's overthink this and put Romeo Doubs out there and have two receivers block for him and then have them miss their blocks and then he drops it, and then, you know, it's all way too confusing and way too complicated. They don't need that. They need to get back to the basics. They need to get back to giving Aaron Jones the ball as much as possible. Aaron Rodgers needs to get back to playing not like garbage, maybe not MVP level, but please at least play like a semi-average quarterback, like you're paid to. $50 million a year for the shit that Rodgers has given us this year, it's not acceptable. I'm about done with the guy at this point. I'm about done with it. If he's going to sit there and make faces and blame everybody but himself in the press conference and talk about his injured thumb, then just go sit your ass on IR and let the young quarterback take over. That's where I'm at this point with Rodgers. And I don't think I ever was going to reach this point with Aaron Rodgers because he's been my favorite quarterback for as long as I can remember. But it's getting to the point where it's like, dude, retire. I mean, it's if he's not going to get shit figured out, put him on IR and let Jordan Love play. At least Jordan Love will actually maybe deliver an accurate football. I don't know. Only one way to find out. Anyways, that's all I got to say in this video. Packers are looking like dog shit. They go to Buffalo next week, so they'll be 3-5 after next week. Then they play the Lions at the Lions. Who knows? That's probably going to be a toss-up. The Lions suck, and so do we. So, best case scenario, 4-5 at the bye. It's not going to get it done. I don't know. Personally, I'm ready for the new era to begin, so the quicker that starts, the better. So, all I got to say today, guys. See you next time. Go Pack, go.